250,000 do not transit to secondary school. So if you take 4-5 years, then that means every year you are eliminating 250,000 young children, aged 13, 14, 15 maximum. You cannot condemn them to the labor market because that is child labor. You cannot, at the same time, say that their destiny is over because they didn't graduate. NASA wants to make sure that the whole issue about KCPE is out of the way so the transition to the secondary level is genuine and everybody is there. Let the child get up to 18, age of maturity, and then we start talking about other skills. So when on the platform you hear the principals of NASA and other players of NASA say they want the uniform, they want the pencil, they want the desk, they want the infrastructure to be provided for by the government, they are serious. Let me speak to her next issue, and that was the issue of the economy. Although, let me not skip one other thing about education. The Higher Education Loans Board. Today, a university student applying for that loan can be on the queue waiting for 6 months. NASA says they will resource the Higher Education Loan Board appropriately and in a timely fashion so that it should not take more than 2 weeks before the university student gets the access to their loan. Honorable Raila Odinga also mentioned something here. You cannot ask these fellows to pay for their loan before they get their job. So we must first get them the jobs. And ladies and gentlemen, if you just ask yourself, and this is now back to the economy, what happens, what do you imagine when you call a rally in the middle of the week in Uhuru Park and the park is full to the brim? What does that speak when it comes to the challenge of unemployment? And this is a serious issue. So the economy that we are talking about, you do not come and feed us endlessly with grandiose projects, but you are not generating where it matters most, having that young man and woman feed themselves. In NASA, we want to make sure that we can control and check the public debt because it is spiraling out of control, and it is expensive debt because there's debt which is manageable, but there's also expensive debt. The government of Jubilee has specialized in going for expensive debt. Commercial debt that there's hardly any grace period and the repayment process starts, and hence the heavy public borrowing, heavy problems that we are facing. And that is why we say we want to make sure our GDP will grow at 7% over a sustained period and move to even up to 10%. We also want to say that we want to make sure that our budget deficit is managed so that we bring it down, we reduce it down to 3% of GDP. If we do that, we shall release resources that will be used to generate sufficient jobs in this country and not the inflationary pressure we are seeing, which is now at double digit. These are very serious messages that are coming out of the NASA research unit and the NASA boiler room, if I may call it that. Let me touch briefly to an issue about the plight of our people when it comes to where they stay, whether they're getting adequate shelter, and the way we see it. Ladies and gentlemen, by 2030, 64% of Kenya's population shall be living in urban areas. 64%. And it is not possible that all of them should troop to Nairobi or Mombasa or Kisumu or Nakuru. we must figure out how we shall accelerate a proper urban growth in all the 47 counties, all of them, so that we create hubs within those counties, hubs that will become what you'd call traffic generators for the economy. People can then live there, people can have proper markets in those regions, industries can be created there, and a new broad economy spread out across the country shall emerge, rather than having a centralized process. And hence, the need to say that we will commit ourselves to that economic position that devolution must be made to work. I will not address details of that because I believe somebody else will handle that more elaborately. Finally, let me just state once again that we want to have a responsible government. NASA is committed to being a responsible government. We want to make promises and deliver on those promises. People put it very briefly that promise what you can deliver and deliver what you promise. Promise what you can deliver and deliver what you promise. That is the commitment that NASA is offering the Kenyan people. Walk this journey with us. This is our country. You have to change it. You have to be part of the change. You have to drive the change. NASA how? NASA how? Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jonathan Mweke, your Deputy Governor of Nairobi County. Thank you, Honorable Mudavadi, for giving us a better understanding on NASA's stand on these subjects. We are now going to tackle the issues of agriculture, devolution, health, and water. What do the wananchi feel? What is the word on the ground? Tulienda mashinani, tukaongea na Wakenya. Wacha tuone maoni yao.
My name is Alfredo Kemwamoke. I had a passion on the bananas. You know, Kisii is land of bananas. I come from Kisii County. I also grow beetroots. And then as an entrepreneur, growing the two enterprises, it so happened that one of my products was having a very big problem or challenges. So mamas wale walikuwa wanaenda kwa hospitali, wana lack blood, they used to be referred to my farm so that I give them the beetroot. Any single time I give them the live beetroot, they could not take it because of the taste. So that challenge, once I got it, it took me a challenge. I had to maintain my customers. So I had to visit KIRID, that is Kenya Industrial Research Development Institute. That's a parastatal. So when we started, we finally came to this product, ambaye ni jam, ya beetroot and banana. I need equipment for making the jam. There is a very big challenge in that because farmers, when we take the ratio of the farmers and the technical team, in Kisii, farmers, one technical person is required to serve 3,000 people. You can imagine when we reach that.
Nimetoka kaunti ya Nyeri. Na mimi ni mjane. Bwanangu alikufa road accident. Wakati walifanya accident walikuwa watu watatu. Kufika hospitali madaktari walikuwa wachache. So hatungeweza, tukawapebeleza watupatie ambulance. Wakasema hawawezi. Tugojee wamtibu. Alikufa mikononi mwetu. Na maisha yangu imekuwa gumu sana. Kwa sababu nimeashiwa watoto wawili. Watoto wanataka kukula, kusoma, inakuwa gumu sana. Sisi wajane tusisahaulike, tukubuko, watu watukubuke kabisa. sina yoyote ya kitu yoyote ya kunisimamia kwa hospitali. Mimi mwenyewe ndio nang'ang'ana, natafuta pesa, watoto wakigojeka na wapeleka hospitali mimi mwenyewe. Hiyo jukumu serikali ndio inaweza kuwa ishukue. Ambulance kama pia wangetuongeza hospitali waweke ambulance mingi, ingekuwa imetusaidia sana.
Ladies and gentlemen, now let's invite a master on the subject, one of our coalition principals, to address this subject. Governor Isaac Ruto. Karibu.
You want me to move closer? Thank you very much. All protocols observed. I want to say that we've just seen what is bedeviling the current situation. In agriculture, there are Kenyans who are ready to rediscover production. They are doing it on their own. But we have failed as a country. From a country that had surplus food to a country of deficits. Even as we talk now, we have no ugali on the table. And that is for sure. Our priority is to rediscover productivity. We must go back to the farmer, the one we just saw in Kisii. We can produce food in our farms. And we can only do that if we eliminate the myriads of middlemen in between marketing and production. And even in the delivery of services that support productivity at the farm level. We need to support the farmer through provision of irrigation, financing, marketing, storage of our food. At the world level, where Kenyans live, we need to have food stores, we need to have silos, we need to keep our food, and we've got to support marketing for the same. We cannot continue to ignore value addition. You just seen that farmer, and it is quite great that that farmer comes from a county that really struggles to produce food irrespective of what we do as a government. We must say echo to the Gusii producers. They kept feeding Nairobi, even when we have nothing from Rift Valley that used to have plenty of food. Agriculture must be allowed to feed the country. And we can only do that if we move forward with a clearly focused policy and working together with the counties. I want to say that we will ensure that healthcare is also addressed. As we talk now, there is serious disharmony in the health sector because the center has refused to empower the counties to move forward on the provision on healthcare. We would like free healthcare for all Kenyans. Within reach, you've just seen the madam there saying she's wondering how to take her loved ones to hospital. They die because there are no ambulances. We must provide ambulances at the closest possible range for people to be taken to for quality attention in our hospitals. We also need to look at and redeem the confidence that the health workers had in their profession. We cannot continue to be at war with our own doctors. We cannot afford to be at war with the nurses who must be with us 24 hours. There must be a solution to that problem. We must focus on training them, giving them opportunities to further their training. We are all aware that doctors don't engage in matatu business like some of us do. They are just in hospitals 24/7 to save our lives. You won't see another mama crying if we could pay attention to the issues we are raising. We would like to proceed and support proper devolution. We've committed ourselves